Welcome to the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, and maybe even poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course, hearing about how cool New Year's Eves are in Toyotas, then this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and germs. My name is Tyler, and joining me for this first ever episode of the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast in 2024 is the one and only Mr. Jimmy Jett. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Welcome to the first episode ever.
Thanks. Happy New Year's.
Yeah, Happy New Year's, man.
Yeah. How was New Year's Eve? Did you have a rager?
We did have a rager.
Good.
Yep.
Fun?
It was fantastic.
Us too.
And everybody left the next day.
Perfect.
Or today. Everybody's leaving today.
Yeah.
Today, Monday? Monday on the 1st?
The 1st.
Wow. Look at me go.
Yeah.
Had so much raging last night. I couldn't remember what day it was.
Yeah, I know. We'll see if I make it in to record on the 2nd on Tuesday.
Yeah. Do you drink all day Monday too, the 1st, or are you just going to be that much gout in your system? You're not going to
gout
walk.
Doesn't really affect me until or at least the few times I've had flare-ups, it's like 5 days post.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I won't have gout on the 2nd. That's for sure, from drinking all night from 31st to 1st. But
okay.
We'll see if I do. I've been pretty good though. At least a year, if not 2, I haven't had a flare up. So
okay. I
don't know if the cherry extract pills that I'm taking are really helping out, or if it's just I'm drinking smarter.
Probably drinking smarter.
Yeah.
I know that the last time you had a big flare up, you were drinking very dumb.
I was.
You were dumb
very
drinking.
Dumb. That's why I'm not allowed to hang out with Dylan anymore.
Exactly. Dylan brings out all the dumb drinking.
Yeah. But we have a fun episode for everybody today. But before we get there, we will got a few updates to do. We have a giveaway going on, which I don't think we have planned or figured out what it is yet.
We have not.
Yeah. So we will get something before next week for you guys. Sorry about that. Just holidays and everything has been a bit chaotic. I have an idea. We can we'll see if we can pull it out of the box and make it work. We'll talk a little bit off air.
I had multiple holes in my head I thought you could have gone with. I was not expecting box, although that could work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be a hole.
Got it.
Yeah, so we'll look into that one, and we'll get back to you next week, or possibly on Thursday. We will go over voicemails, FNGs, birthdays, and giveaways on Thursday as well. Let's see, we've got our reviews that are always continuing on, where once we get to 750 reviews, we are giving away a set of Yokohama tires. Thank you, Yokohama, for donating tires. And every 50 reviews that we pass until we get to 750, we're giving away swag packs.
Nice. Does Yokohama make snowmobile tracks?
I don't know.
I might need to find that out.
Yeah. Do you need new tracks already?
No, they're not bad. They're just they're used condition, but that's not like they're not going to work. They're still going to work great. So
yeah. Have you mounted them yet?
No, I don't have my adapters from Bora yet.
Oh, Bora.
I know.
Well, it's called a Wix. Let's get on that.
Dude, seriously, I'm actually getting a little worried. The guy that took my order said that, here we go, rabbit hole. He said that my order would be done 1st or 2nd week of January.
Okay.
I placed the order last week in November, 1st week of December, something like that.
Wow.
So it was going to be about 30 to 40 days to make the custom adapters. But he said that when I placed my order, he was within the week going to send me a CAD drawing so I can pull it up in Fusion 360 and confirm all the measurements.
Got it.
It is currently December 27th.
And you have yet to get a CAD drawing.
I have not gotten a CAD drawing yet, and he's not replying to any of my text messages.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, well, fuck.
Maybe he's not alive anymore.
I don't know. I'm a little, concerned, because last time I talked to him was like 2 weeks after I ordered. So it was like December 20th, a week before Christmas, whatever it was. And he goes, yeah, nope, sorry, I've been too busy. I haven't got you the CAD drawing yet. And I was like, okay, is it going to be a month from when I receive the CAD drawing when I'm going to get these adapters? He said, nope, you're still in line. I said, okay, cool.
He's going to send you the CAD drawing right as he throws them on the lathe or whatever he's using, mill.
Yeah. Anyways, come on, Bora. I need these adapters, man.
Yeah.
Especially since the snow level's down to 5,000 feet today.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have a friend that just ordered spacers from them. I'll find out what his ETA was and see how that goes. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, we have a fun episode for you guys tonight. I don't think we have, or today, I don't think we have any other additional housekeeping.
Nope.
All right. We're doing our annual year in review where we go back for the year and we pick out 5+ 5-ish episodes that we truly enjoyed recording and sitting down and hitting that button. Mm-hmm. And we're going to do a quick review of those episodes and talk about them. And hopefully we spark some love interest in your guys' life and you go back and listen to them also.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you haven't listened to these episodes, you've kind of skipped around in the episodes. Maybe we can entice you guys to go listen to them because they were fun for their own reasons, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I guess without further ado, shall we hear from Brian again?
Yeah.
And then we'll be right on back. New year.
New Brian.
He's married now. We'll have to see how he's doing. Maybe he can let everybody know in one of these Monday
main topic breakdowns.
Breaks. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Thank you. Anyways, let's hear from Brian and we'll be right on back with our 2023 in review.
At 4-Wheel Underground, we don't do DIY kits. With 26 years of experience, we've designed and engineered suspension geometry for maximum performance and predictability on and off-road, so that you don't have to. Check out 4-Wheel Underground to find the best engineered Toyota suspension solutions at 4wheelunderground.com.
Welcome back, ladies, gentle ladies, germs, kiddos, all the Aflac ducks out there. I know that we have some listening. This is mine and Jimmy's 2023 in review. It was a really fun year. And we both it was fun kind of going over this list with Jimmy here before we recorded because we were like, let's compare notes and see if we duplicated any of our choices.
Right. Yeah. That was kind of funny.
And there are no duplicates.
Yeah. We didn't duplicate at all.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
As we're going through, it seems like a lot of your list is people that we've had on the show.
Correct. Yeah.
And my list is a lot of things that I've gone out and done.
Well, I haven't done a lot this year, I guess.
Yeah.
Except for make a house.
That's true. You made a house and it looks good, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, everything looks really good inside. It came out better than I thought, especially your bedroom fan.
That bedroom fan is
pretty
legit.
cool.
It's so cool looking.
Yeah. But we have, I don't know, 5 to 7 episodes each that we both kind of went back through. We're like, that was a cool episode.
Yeah.
For some particular reason.
Absolutely.
I think mine are going to be fairly quick, the reasons why I'll be hitting on in each of the episodes. But whereas I think it'll be fun to reminisce about yours and the people we had on and kind of what topic overall that episode was. So
yeah. Absolutely. I went back and looked, and our first episode, which was a year in review as well, that we did in 2023 was on January 2nd, and that was episode 360.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've definitely cranked through a bunch of episodes because what is this? 364?
I think it's 464. Yeah.
464.
We've only done 4 episodes this year,
right? 464. So we're just over 100 episodes in a year. That's pretty wild, or almost not. Yeah.
I mean, in theory, there were 52 weeks in a year, so two a week. So we should have 104 episodes every year. So that's 360 to 460. Yeah, that's right.
Good
on
math.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
We didn't skip any. Wow. That's impressive, actually.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive. Because normally we do take 1 or 2 off somewhere in there or miss something. Or, we had that one episode that's just a ghost. I forgot what number that was.
That was for like 2 years ago.
The lost episode. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was good.
Anyways, so what is if we're going to go, can we go chronological order here?
Yeah, I think I
going
just have
from
one
starting from the beginning and go into the top, I guess.
Yeah.
So my first one is 384. What's yours?
364.
All right, you go first.
All right. So this is the first one.
Actually, 100 episodes ago.
Yeah, literally 100 episodes ago. The Rubicon Trail is closed.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That would have happened almost right around this. It would have happened damn near this time.
It would have. I think it would have been before within a week before. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they got out of there, I want to say December 12, 13. The county went in 17, 18, 19. And the decision came, I want to say on the 19th or 20th. About the Rubicon Trail being closed.
Well, didn't they close it? Because we had that gnarly storm at New Year's.
Was that the incoming one?
And so I think they closed it. Didn't they close it around just after Thanksgiving?
No, it was just after, right around Christmas.
Okay. So right around Christmas, just before New Year's. And then a week or so into the New Year's, we reported that it was closed. Yeah. And talked about it.
Yes, that would have been right there.
Yeah. So because we did have that storm that came through on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
That like shut freeways down because there was flooding and just destroyed the valley. There was like lakes in places that there used to be farm fields.
Truly Lake.
Trulies.
For after Tulare, Trulies. The lake out of Trulies. Yeah, the Tulare Lake, which is still there today. It's gonna be a couple of years before it's fully gone. Yeah,
that's fantastic. I'm happy to hear
that. It's so
cool. We're supposed to have a wet weather year this year too, but I'm convinced that anytime they say we're gonna have an El Nino, we get nothing.
Yeah,
that's how I truly feel. Well, they're like it's gonna be crazy, and we're not gonna have anything.
Right? We've had one storm system come through already, and it was a pretty warm storm. It was quite a bit of rain. But it was an 8,000 foot snow elevation, something like that. We have a storm coming through right now as we speak, actually. And the snow elevation is supposed to be down to about 5,000 feet.
Yeah.
So
I did see though, last year we were over 5 inches of rain and we're currently right at 3 inches of rain. So we're we're still behind for where we were. But I mean, we got that storm on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I can't imagine. I mean, we got inches of rain during that storm. So I don't think we'd ever catch up.
Yeah. So this episode, the Rubicon Trail is closed.
Yeah. Not currently.
It's not right now. This one was probably either my top or my second overall episode from last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason being is because it kind of kicked off an obsession in my head.
And a few people's heads.
Yeah. And this has now, after the whole year of 2023, lots of things happened throughout the year to do with the Rubicon Trail and the closure and what happened because of that closure, directly because of that closure. And it's kind of sent me on a path of I am now putting together and leading and running the Rubicon Information Group.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, which is set to start this coming up January.
Nice.
So that's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. And the whole premise behind it is I'm trying to get everybody back on the same page that's involved with the trail. There's so many government agencies, involved in the trail that have some sort of say about what happens. But then there's also private agencies, private groups like JJUSA, Jeepers Jamboree, Rubicon Trail Adventures, Rubicon Soda Springs Incorporated, RSSI. There's all these private property entities and private entities that rely on the trail for business.
Correct. Yeah.
There's the user groups of the trail that rely on the trail as a lifestyle and recreational purposes. And then there's private property owners that live up there.
Yeah.
So there's 10, 15 different organizations, entities that have a vested interest on what happens on this trail. And it doesn't seem like anybody wants to get along.
No.
And so
unfortunately not.
Yeah. My goal is to force everybody to get back into a room together, and they may not have to like what everybody's saying, but they have to be able to communicate with each other on what everybody's plans are for what their vested interest is in the trail.
Sure.
So that's my whole goal. And so this whole year that set me down this trajectory started because of episode 364, the Rubicon Trail being closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, for those that don't know, I'll say it was closed illegally.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it started a whirlwind of arguments in the El Dorado County court, and with what is going on with the Rubicon Trail Foundation, and they were fighting to open it back up. And there was a lot of talks about that. Are they allowed to close it? Are they not allowed to? Why did they close it? They can. How did they close it? Did they close it appropriately? And it was a really interesting episode to discuss. And I think because of that episode, sort of like you're saying, a lot of things have moved forward in understanding on how to go about doing things the proper way.
I think so. Yeah. Figuring out the politics behind our trail systems, and how does a travel management system work, travel management plans.
Yeah.
And, who has what say in what happens in public lands. So that kind of set off this big, long thing for me, I know personally. And I know you got pretty involved with it too, understanding everything. And according to Spotify, a lot of our listeners did the same thing, because that episode was our number one listened to episode this year by over 400%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty insane. That four times listened to
than any other episode.
Any of our other episodes this year.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So it was a pretty crazy thing that happened. And, it got me talking to more people, got me more interested in getting involved in the politics behind public lands. Yeah, that kicked off one of the other episodes we have further down the list too.
Definitely.
So
yeah. Cool.
My next one is episode 367.
Okay. Still before mine.
Still before.
Okay.
I told you I had like 3 in the first 10 episodes that I really liked. I crossed one off.
367. What you got?
367 was snow welding.
Snow welding. Yep. That was fun.
That was just a really fun trip. It was a big recovery. A dude snapped his axle housing in half.
Yep.
And so I got together with a bunch of the Grass Valley Jeepers and got to go up when we mounted a recovery mission. And I got to weld this guy's axle back together well enough to let him roll off of the trail.
Right. And that was on Fordyce, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. In the snow. So that one was a lot of fun. Just because of the whole recovery and what needed to happen with how bad he broke his vehicle. But B, I've never done welding in the snow before.
Yeah.
So
did you get shocked?
No.
Oh.
No.
Yeah. I always thought that was like a water current thing that you would like put your hand down and like make the current go the wrong way. And
no.
Okay. Well, that's good.
So that was really fun. It tested my skills. Was a fun environment. I love snow wheeling. And I like welding. And it turns out snow welding is really fun too.
There you go. Put these two good hobbies of yours together and you have an absolute blast.
Exactly.
All right.
I think 380 something is the next one.
Yeah, 384. Mine. Yay, I get a turn.
Yay.
Mine, episode 384 was rooftop tents versus ground tents.
Something you and I still argue about.
We absolutely still argue about that today. And that's what I think really drew me to picking this episode, is because it's just a fun argument to have.
It totally is.
And I just want to go out and say that you've absolutely lost the argument now because you bought a cab over camper. And that's like the ultimate rooftop tent.
That's fair. I can't put it on the Forerunner though.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
that's funny. But it's just a fun argument. It was pretty much a TTTT for us. One of those that we did back during COVID. I think we actually did that as a TTTT.
We did.
We actually wanted to discuss it further and argue it a little bit more. So we brought it back as a full episode.
Yeah.
But it's just fun. I mean, it's just a fun banter argument with a friend about what do you think is better, because I like the rooftop tent and Tyler enjoys his Gazelle and ground tent. I'm not too sure if he likes the Gazelle that much more now after he did that snow trip.
The big Gazelle? Yeah, I'm a little turned off right now after that last
after hearing about all the wind and how it was collapsing everybody's Gazelle tents.
Yeah.
But I think that's just another win for the rooftop tent. So
yeah, but I got to go wheeling every day just fine.
That's true. So you can wheel every time with a rooftop tent also.
I mean, not as well, because you have to pack up pack up your camp every time.
Yeah. So if you want to hear us argue more as like a married couple, then check out episode 384, which was, I thought it was just a fun argument blast about two things that don't really matter.
It's very true. Right. What's your next one?
392. Ooh, the engine.
Mine's 391.
Oh, fine.
All right. So that was my birthday weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the big reason why this one came up is because I got to steal Stellar Built's Tacoma on tracks.
Right.
And go out on my birthday, go snow wheeling with tracks.
Cool.
For first time ever. So that was a lot of fun. I got to go and I met Alex and Jenna in person the first time out on that trip.
People. Frost, what's their?
Frosty four-wheeler.
Frosty four-wheeler, yep.
Yeah. Well, I guess I technically met Alex and Jenna before, but it was like a quick 5-minute thing. I actually got to go wheeling with them this time. And then Nick Bailey was on that trip.
Okay.
And a couple other people. And we had some fun getting Alex's buggy down in a really, really big hole.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was just a lot of fun. Really cool people to be hanging out with, doing some really fun snow wheeling in a tracked Tacoma, and what got me addicted to tracks in the first place.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And therefore, made a purchase at the end of the year here.
I did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that thing on tracks.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be so freaking wide.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts.
I did the measurements, and in theory, I think I have like an inch on either side of the outside of the tracks for the trailer, my deck over trailer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's going to be close.
It's going to be really close. Like I'm a little concerned about sticking over the edges of the deck over, which is 102 inches wide.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah. So, yeah, it'll be fun. But that was episode 391 that kicked off the whole obsession with tracks.
Yeah. And snow wheeling in general for you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Too fun. Well, my next one is the next one up that line, 392, which was off-roading versus overlanding with our buddy Benji over at Budget Overland.
Wait, what's that guy's name again?
Benji. I don't know why you think that's funny.
I don't know why either. I love giving him a hard time.
Got it. And that was a fun episode. We had Benji on to talk about overlanding. And I think most of the trip we argued that off-roading is really what everybody should be calling it. And overlanding something that, not a lot of people actually do. Mm-hmm. And I caught him in a loophole.
Yes, you did.
About with trailers and how if you should overland with trailers or if they're good or not, or what happens if you're leaving the trailer in the location, and should we call it trailer landing or what?
It was having to do with base camping.
Base camping too. Yeah. Trailers, so it was a fun one. It was I think it was our first episode we ever did with Benji.
I think so too. Yeah.
And, we've had a few with him since, and probably the most recent one was the Christmas special, or the
holiday gift guide.
Holiday gift guide. Thank you.
Yep.
We did with Benji as well and got some information with him. But so that was a lot of fun. Enjoy talking to Benji. He's a blast. If you need another podcast out there and you're tired of listening to us, check out the Budget Overland podcast.
Yeah. Cool. So that was 392.
Correct.
Surprised we didn't do something about Jeeps on that time.
I think we brought that up.
Oh, that's funny.
I was going to say the next one. My next one on the list was going to be 395 Star Wars versus Rubicon.
What was that one about?
That was the one where we picked Star Wars ships and we talked about if they would Rubicon.
I forgot all about that episode.
Yeah. And
I saw it as I was going through the episodes. I was like, what is that one? I skipped over it.
That's because that episode happened on May 4th.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun. That makes more sense then.
That was a funny episode, but we got a ton of flack about it because it was like, what is it? You're taking fictional things and saying if it'll do a real thing. Yes. So, but anyways, I had fun doing that one.
I did have fun doing that one too. That was a fun episode.
All right. My next is 408.
Ooh, you beat me.
Woohoo. Episode 408, 4th gen Tacoma talk with Toyota.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a fun one. And that was really fun for me because we actually we've now started the conversation with actually Toyota.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I think as the podcast 4 years in, doing primarily Toyota talk, and now we're getting to talk with Toyota.
Mm-hmm.
That was a major milestone for me.
Yeah.
So it didn't have to do with the 4th gen Tacoma so much as it was, hey, we're talking to somebody at Toyota, which was really, really cool. But we did learn a lot about the 4th gen Tacoma. We covered a lot of ground. Unfortunately, we did run out of time chatting with him. And I think I had one or two more questions to ask him. So
I did too.
Maybe we'll have to get him on when those are starting to pop out here in the real world. But I do know that he has some other items that he is currently working on. So maybe we can get him on for some of those future vehicles that are coming out.
Yeah, the big thing I wanted to talk to him about that we didn't get a chance to was all the new technologies that Toyota is finally putting in their truck vehicles, right? So the Tundra, the Tacoma, and the 4Runner are now finally getting a bunch of the technologies that have been in the Corolla, the Prius, the Camry, the Highlander. They've been in all their other vehicles before, all their unibody vehicles. I think that's where the split is, the difference.
Maybe.
And they're now finally starting to update and making leaps and bounds on the user creature comforts technologies in these frame on body vehicles.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I wanted to ask him about when the larger differential came in. Because they're moving up to supposedly into 9.5 in the rear there, but is that on all platforms or is it just on the TRD Pro?
That's
and
a good
also
question,
the 4/5 link that's going on in the rear of that vehicle, is that on all platforms? Because I know the pre-runner has leaf springs.
Yeah.
So where do they draw the line, and when do those, like, when do you get a link suspension versus leaf springs? When does that break happen? So
good question.
Those are one of the ones that I wanted to know. I bet you have you beat on the next one also, 410.
Yes, sir.
So 410 was our chat with 74 Weld Quinn.
Oh, that's a good one.
Portal Talk, which was an outstanding episode. There was so much information dropped
a lot
on that episode. I learned about straight cut gears versus helicoils versus, I think he had another name for them. Forgot what they were. And they would talked about why straight cut gears whine and why he has his design so that they don't whine. And he talked about all the different things that went into building portals and the designing of portals. Exactly.
Yep.
And we just learned so much about portals, and now we're seeing them show up in real world situations. Our buddy Brennan at Trail 4R just threw some on his 4Runner. That 4Runner looks badass. I think they had to do they had to put a new front bumper on and some minor trimming on the fender, and he fit 37s on a 5th gen 4Runner.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. And I want to say they did that pretty much in an afternoon.
Yeah, maybe.
Putting the portals on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, afternoon of shop work.
Yeah.
With probably a few hands on it. But it was awesome to see.
We need to get Brennan to come up and finally do the Rubicon now. Well, he has like 3 vehicles that can do the Rubicon now, and he won't do it.
I think he has one.
Did he sell the 1st gen 4Runner?
That's the one that I think he could do.
You don't think he could do it in the 5th gen?
I don't think the 5th gen. I think it needs I would say it needs a rear bumper. Before it should do the Rubicon.
Yeah.
Or just take it off.
It'll get taken off during the trails.
And his Tacoma, the 2nd gen Tacoma on the long travel.
Yeah.
I don't think it has a rear bumper either.
That's fine.
Maybe it does.
I thought it did.
I don't know.
I'll
go with maybe 2, but I don't think he needs more armor and protection on that 5th gen before he goes on the Rubicon.
I thought he had full skid plates underneath.
If he does, I did not know that. If anything, then he needs a rear bumper, and then I'll take him out on the Rubicon.
Yeah. Okay.
But that 1st gen, as soon as he gets that thing cleaned up, that 1st gen 4Runner definitely will be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, 410 Portal Talk with Quinn from 74 Weld was a fantastic episode.
That was a great episode. Yeah. Jimmy and I have always had infatuations for portals.
Oh yeah.
And so being able to sit down and talk to the guy about portals was super rad.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then running into him out at events after that throughout the year was a lot of fun too. So we got to sit down and, say hi to him, be like, hey, Quinn, how's life? Tell us more about portals. I want to geek out some more. And what other stuff he has going on. So that was really cool to be able to get down and interview Quinn and then kind of build a fun little friendship with him that we get to run into him and say hi to him out at places.
Yeah, that is one of the benefits of just the podcast in general. We get to chat with some people. And I mean, a lot of times when we interview them, we'll chat on the podcast for an hour, but we've talked 10 to 15 minutes prior and we chat for 10 to 15 minutes afterwards. And then, you do gain a friendship relationship with these people. And, you go and hunt them out at events, or you go and say hi to them, and, or you run into them out on a trail, and it's, you just have a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. What's your next number?
I'm 40 past that.
Okay, I'm at 433.
Okay.
And this one is Kermit's Climax.
Oh.
I just like the name.
Yeah, I know.
That was it. So 440 is my... No, I'm just kidding. No, this one was big for me, obviously, because it was the first trip out with Kermit. And so Kermit's build literally took as long as I've pretty much had the vehicle. We had the 3-4 swap done pretty close to being like within the first year of having it.
Yeah.
And then after the 3-4 swap, I started thinking about different axles.
Okay.
And I was trying to figure out how to do different axles. What did I want to do for different axles? Was I going to go FJ80 route in rough stuff housings, FJ80 stock housings? Was I going to go 9-inch route, spider tracks? Do I just want to pull some Dana 60s off a junkyard, put them in? Do I want to do I really like the Curry Rock Jock 60s.
Yeah.
I was like, I really wanted to go that route. And then something again, just kind of flipped a switch in my head. Something broke in my head that said, I really want to do something with 10.5-inch Tundra third members.
I think it was
I don't care anymore.
I don't know if it was that one time we were out on Winch Hill 3 and a guy pulled up with a Tundra rear axle.
That is a big thing. Yeah. But
like,
I mean, being able to do that versus a Tundra steer axle as well.
Right.
That was the big difference. And I don't know when that point hit. Like I saw that Tundra rear axle and I was like, that's a big ass third member. It looks good. And I started looking, I was like, those are nice and beefy, but I don't remember what point clicked when I was like, we can make a steer axle out of this too.
Right.
But once that clicked, it was all downhill. It took me like 3 years from there, 2.5, 3 years to figure out how to build the axles, ordering wrong parts, having to sell them to recoup 60% of the cost, going through the headache of trying to figure out how to get everything assembled, picking everybody's brains that I could, and to finally getting the axles built under the vehicle with a really bitchin' suspension to go with it all.
Which suspension?
The 4-wheel underground suspensions. Yeah.
Yes.
So front and rear, 3-linked front and rear. And it's that first trip out was kind of like I don't know if this is actually going to work.
Right, yeah.
I don't know, but we'll see. And going down Cadillac, once I got to the bottom of Cadillac Hill, that first trip, I was like, it worked.
Right.
This whole everything, all the money I fucking possibly wasted, all the time and energy wasted, possibly all was just like, okay, this all was kind of worth it now. And showed me that when you put your mind to something and really focus on it, and you're really passionate about trying to get something done, that even somebody like me who's not really have a mechanics background at all or fabrication background at all can come out and make something kind of really cool like this with the right people behind them. So
yeah.
That
was cool. It was obviously a lot of fun to watch the crazy build of Kermit go on and hear and talk about it with you on the podcast throughout the years of seeing, the 3-4 swap and how to get it barred, and then talking about axles and axles and axles and axles and episodes of Axle Talk.
Yeah.
And then hearing about all the things that Ori did and Alex over there and how they built the suspension or put the suspension together.
Put it in.
Installed it. Yeah, that's the better word. And then, and it all came to the climax of you wheeling down Cadillac.
Yeah.
For some event, right?
It was for RUBICON. Yeah.
Yeah, it was RUBICON.
Yeah.
And hearing about your trip in and how well it wheeled and how you did it in like record time and
hit everything on my way down on the beadlocks.
Yeah. Yep. Learning how to drive lines again and everything.
Yeah,
that was an awesome episode. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. So that one is that one's probably my third favorite episode of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. What do you got next? What number?
I think you still got me beat.
My next one is 436.
Yep.
Could Tyler get it into Barrett?
Yeah.
And this one is just kind of for the same reason, because I had so much anxiety built up, because I was like, I literally was trying to build the axles as wide as I could go and still make it into Barrett Lake.
And I think you pretty much achieved that.
I think I got it just perfectly there. Yeah.
Right.
So being able to like going up to that trip, I was with Hussman, right? And I had Hussman with me. And going there, I was like, I don't know if I'm getting into Barrett. Like our backup plan, if I didn't get into Barrett, was to go over to the Rubicon. And I think the Mad Hatter's Rubicon trip was going on that weekend.
Yeah, it was.
And so, we ended up over at Barrett Lake because it had like just opened up for the season. And I was like, I need to get to Barrett because I need to know if this will fit in there.
Yeah.
And getting the rear axle wedged in the gate, I was like, shit, this is not good. I'm not going to make it. This is not counting as fitting.
Because your rear axle is what, 3 inches wider?
2.5.
2.5 inches wider than the front. Okay.
And so getting that rear axle wedged in the gate and then realizing that I was just at the wrong angle
right
to go through the gate was a huge relief and made the whole rest of the weekend. Like I was just on cloud 9 and giddy the entire weekend there.
Yeah. Cause you got it through. You made it in.
Yeah.
You got to wheel your favorite trail possibly.
Yep. My favorite trail. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So that was another really good one, but for the same reason as, Kermit's Climax was a top choice for me. So
cool.
Yeah.
I'm 450.
Oh, wow. Okay. I got another one then. 440.
Yep. Okay.
So this one goes back to the very first episode we talked about. 364 Rubicon Trails closed. 440 was a third of the trails in Moab are gone.
Right.
And it's
which
a
is a
little
clickbaity. Yeah, a little misleading.
A little misleading. A third of the trails in Gemini Bridges, Labyrinth Rims area are gone.
Correct.
Yes. And so that one was really neat to me because I got down into the weeds talking with Ben Burr from Blue Ribbon Coalition about what just happened in Moab. And Ben is an awesome person to talk about because I didn't realize that his ancestry is from the Moab area.
Yeah. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. And so he has a lot of history in Moab, around Moab, knows very intimately details about the surrounding areas that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah.
And how the politics have worked in that area, how BLM has worked in that area. And he has a law-oriented mindset. And so for him to be able to break down what's going on in Moab with the Labyrinth Rim, Gemini Bridges stuff that's been going on for the past 20 years and the kind of the crux, the climax that came to, and being able to talk about that and then make similarities to other things that are going on around the country with public lands and public trails was extremely eye-opening to me.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and I think a lot of people, I hope
so.
That episode was a fairly decently downloaded episode as well. We did a few social media posts and they did really well. The sound clip that
the audio
grabbed out of that one of when you were reading off trail names and Ben was going closed or gone or whatever it was. That one went a miniature viral. A lot of people were grabbing that clip from your post and reposting it. Yeah. So I think it was pretty cool to see something that we did start going out into the world and hopefully helping wake people up about what's happening out there.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's a lot of what it did. I hope that it's helping to wake people up and the awareness is getting out there.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that was 440. If you're not aware of what's going on in Moab, please go listen to that episode.
Absolutely. So. You got one before 450?
Nope. 456 is my next one.
All right. 450. That was off-roading with kids with the assistant and secretary.
Yeah.
That was just it's always fun to get the families together.
Yeah.
And sit down, relax, have 3 out of the 4 of us could have some wine. Yeah. And it was just a conversation of, off-roading with children. I guess in a way we made it too broad.
Yeah.
As a conversation, which seems to have happened to us in the past with, off-roading or camping. But, with Tyler coming up here in a matter of, a few months now is going to have a screaming child, Junior Tyler, running around or not running, but squirming.
Yeah.
We've sent some feelers out there to you guys in the community and asked, when did you start wheeling? At what age did you start bringing the kids wheeling with you? How old were they? What things did you do to keep them entertained? And we got a ton of feedback, and it was a lot of fun to get the feedback from you guys. It was a lot of fun to give you guys some feedback because, you know, the assistant and I are a little semi-experienced in this. And it's just fun to sit down with all of us and hang out. So
that episode was a lot of fun. And when I was having to go through and pick 5 episodes, which I ended up with 7. That one was like number 8 of my choices.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I really enjoyed that episode, and I really value all the feedback and recommendations we got in from all the listeners.
Right.
I mean, we got a lot of feedback on that episode. We only went through a third of the things that we received.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Tyler read them all, you know, and I think you passed them on to the secretary as well, you know, so we appreciated the feedback. If we didn't even get to your feedback, they still got to appreciate it, you know, and read it and listen to it and discuss it.
Yep. And discussed it. So some really good tips and tricks from those that I will be implementing.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Like the duct tape around the seat.
Duct tape around the seat, or a elastic band.
Yeah.
I think was a good option around the head there.
Yeah.
Another one that is a big one is snacks.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm terrible.
All 3 of you.
Yeah. I'm terrible with like remembering to pack snacks for other people. And so that one's going to be a huge one. Trying to go wheeling with people who have similar aged kids. So I don't know if like my wheeling circles might end up morphing or changing a little bit. I'm a little worried about, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, then I get to meet new people.
Yeah.
I get to make new friends. That one. And then the one that I'm really excited about once the kid gets old enough is the games and activities around camp and while wheeling. So like, and I want them to be like exploratory games and stuff, and learning about the environment and learning about being attentive to what's going on around him. So having like that little pocket microscope that he can go around and look at leaves on trees or the bark on trees or find a bug to put under it or something like that.
We gave my nephew one of those for Christmas.
Oh, did you?
And he ran around the house just investigating everything. And one of the coolest things he looked at was like the newspaper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when you zoom in, like I think the one was like 60x.
Okay.
Or when it's, you know, at its full magnification, you see the actual color dots.
Really?
That make up the pictures and stuff.
Okay.
And so, you know, you're seeing a dot of yellow, a dot of blue, a dot of red, and they're kind of overlapping and stuff. And it was like, yeah, that's how they do it. That's the dot matrix stuff. That's it, you know? Yeah. And they're like, what? Like, why isn't it full? And like, it doesn't need to be. You know, I mean, they can't make it. They maybe could, but they don't make it full because it looks full when you're far enough away. But when you're zoomed in like this, it's not full, but it doesn't need to be full. You're learning
pixels and resolution. Right?
Yeah, in a way. Yeah. But it was fun. He was running around looking at fabrics, looking at leaves, looking at the newspaper, just whatever he could find.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that stage of the kid's life.
Yeah, right? It's a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah. So thank you guys. That was episode 450.
450,
which is a lot of fun.
Yep.
So,
yep.
My next one was 456.
Those were my 5. I really only have bonus episodes after that, which were not from this year. Okay.
So this one was 456 and international view of the Rubicon.
Yeah, I loved this one.
This one was it's great memories for me, right?
Right. Yeah.
So getting out on the trail with people who have never been on this trail before and never seen rock crawling before, never done rock crawling. That's one of my favorite things ever. And so being able to take a really cool dude who we had no clue who he was.
Yeah.
No clue what his personality was going to be like. If he's a gearhead, if he's, I don't know, some random person that's just like, oh, I wanted to go check out hiking around Tahoe. And it's like, that's not what we do. But if you want to come, we can show you what we do. Totally ended up being a gearhead. Some guy from New Zealand, Matt, that never met before, didn't know anything about, and got to make a new friend.
Yeah.
Super cool dude. And then being able to let him jump into the driver's seat and just watch him giggle the entire rest of the day was so much fun.
Right. And then it was fun. Like we did this interview at the top of Observation Point. It was a beautiful closing of a day, you know, and it was fun to hear firsthand experiences, you know, of somebody that's never done it after they literally finished driving chunks of it. You know, and just hearing their excitement and everything. Yeah. That was definitely a fantastic memory.
Yeah. So that one's definitely up there. And that rounds off and kind of completes my list of my top episodes for this year.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So my last two, the bonus two that I have, which means that I get my 7 in since you had 7 picks. Of course, it's episode 220.
Yeah.
The Rubicon episode with John Arns and Merlin, where we talk about the history of the Rubicon. That's just a fantastic episode. If you are new to Snail Trail 4x4, that's the episode I suggest people always to go and listen to.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. I think that one, the same. If people are like, what's Snail Trail 4x4? Or what? You guys have 450 episodes, 460 episodes, whatever it is. Where do I even start? I tell them that episode as well. Just go to 220, start there, and then kind of pick and choose your way around from there.
Right.
Yeah.
What was funny is Spotify was doing those. You've listened to so-and-so this many times.
Okay. I think it's called the year-end wrap-ups or the wrap-ups.
Something like that.
Okay.
And I had one person, he was in the top 0.2%.
Wow.
Messaged me, and I forgot what the number was, but it was like 5 times more than anybody else that sent one to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what did you do? He's like, oh, I only found you guys like a year or so ago. So I've been listening from that point on all your current ones. And then when I need something to listen to, I'm at the beginning and I'm working my way up. So it's like every day he's listening to us, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're nuts. And it was insane.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, I don't know why I came onto that one. All right. So the last one, my last bonus episode is episode 37.
37.
Way back.
No clue what that could even. That was 4 years ago, Jimmy.
I know. But it was one of our building plans. Remember when we were doing like this is how you should build a rock crawler. This is how you should build a
go fast desert
rig or a snow rig or whatever.
Okay.
We did a how to build an overland rig with Chuck Norris.
That was the Chuck Norris episode.
Yeah. Which is just a fun episode. That guy's a hoot. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And talking about how to build overland rigs and what you should do to your overland rigs. And really it came down to just whatever you have, go out and have fun.
Yeah. Yep.
But it was a fun episode. I brought that one from the Wayback Machine, but it was just in my mind, it was one of the fun episodes we did. It was back when we were recording at my house.
Yeah.
We were having a few drinks. We were hanging out in my office and just chilling, and it was a fun time.
He's coming back up here, isn't he? To NorCal?
Rumor has it. Yeah.
We're going to have to like steal him away someday.
Yeah.
Do an update, an updated how do you overland episode.
Yeah. That would be a lot of fun.
Maybe we can just get him and Benji to sit on a phone call together and talk, and you and I'll just sit back and laugh the whole time.
We'll just drink. True that.
That's a good one. I have one bonus episode from before 2023.
Okay. Ready.
That is episode 324.
I don't remember that one. Not offhand.
The ultimate test for glue tread.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a lot of fun. That whole trip was such a blast.
Yeah. I still think to this day, that's my favorite trip ever through the Rubicon Trail.
Yeah.
Is with the glue tread guys. So again, I think it just comes to kind of similar situations as with Matt from New Zealand that I had no clue. I knew that it was the owner of glue tread, Andy, and a videographer, Simon, that was coming along.
Right.
I had no clue who they were. I've talked with Andy on the phone quite a few times, but I've never seen him in person, never seen a picture of him. So I don't know if he's going to be a big dude, little dude, athletic dude, not athletic at all. Like, I don't know what I'm getting into with this guy. And then just everything from kicking off that trip, picking them up at the airport and then taking them down to the Virgin Sturgeon for breakfast.
Yeah.
And coming up on a dude who thought it was still the day before and was completely coked out of his mind.
Yeah.
That kind of just set the precedence for that whole trip that they were in town and going up to the mountains and hanging out with them and showing them what the Rubicon Trail is about, what rock crawling is about, and kind of the scenery and the beauty that we have up in the Sierras here.
Right.
And then letting Andy drive and giggle like a little girl every time he hit the siren. Like,
yeah,
that whole trip was just hilarious, and I loved every minute of it.
Yes, that was a fun fun time and a fun episode.
Mm-hmm.
Recorded that episode at Rubicon Springs with otter in the background.
An otter and Ryan had crabs.
Didn't we call it a beaver?
I think we were calling it a beaver. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. That was. I think that's still my favorite episode that we've ever done.
Really?
Yeah. Overall, I think it's just because of how much fun it was. Right. I think that there's more valuable episodes that we've done.
Sure.
But in terms of just pure enjoyment
of recording in that moment,
I think, yeah. I think that was top. So.
It definitely is up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. We were having a few drinks at the time too.
Just a few. I think the table was covered by the time we were done.
I know. That was a fun time. So that's our year in review, our top 14, 15 episodes somewhere in that range. I want to know if we missed anything. What did you guys think? What is there an episode out there that you got a ton of enjoyment out of or knowledge out of that we didn't have on our list? Was it a Star Wars episode? Who knows? You can always reach us on Instagram. I'm over at Snail Trail 4x4. Tyler's at 4x4 Toyota Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
You can email us, Jimmy or Tyler at snailtrail4x4.com, or you can call in and let us know what your favorite episode was at 916-345-4744.
I like it a lot. And Mr. Jimmy Jet, any final words for everybody out there?
What did the dad say at 11:59 on New Year's Eve? No more dad jokes till next year.
With that, my friends, keep crawling.
I got one for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
What is a New Year's resolution?
A promise to yourself?
It's something that goes in one year and out the other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why did Dracula pass out on New Year's Eve?
I don't know.
Because there was a countdown.
Yeah, that's not what I was going for. I was thinking something about blood thinning, but I was like, no, I don't know how you connect that.
What's a cow's favorite holiday? This one's pretty bad.
New Year's?
New Year's Eve.
That one is pretty bad.